Hello everyone, welcome to NDA Defense Institute's Daily Current Affairs. So let us see some of the important current affairs of today. The first one, it is right to move freely or reside. So recently the Supreme Court had held that the state cannot pass unnecessary restrictions to bar certain people from entering into the areas, and it can be done only in exceptional cases. So this power of the Supreme Court comes in the wake of the fundamental rights that has been provided in the Indian Constitution. So according to Article 19, as you can see here, Article 19D, all the citizens have the right to move freely throughout the territory of India. Article 19D and 19E talks about every citizen has a right to reside. So right to move and right to reside are provided as fundamental rights under Article 19. So only the fundamental rights can be restricted based on reasonable restriction and not unnecessary restrictions. So this is what the Supreme Court told. The next one, it is Article 15 and Article 25. Yes. So the opposition leader of opposition, Rahul Gandhi, asked the Union government whether, because of the recently increasing attack against the other religion people and asking them to chant this Jai Shri Ram. Yes. Because of this, the opposition leader of opposition has raised this question whether the Article 15 and 25, which is guaranteed by the fundamental rights, guaranteed by the Constitution, has been left for sake. And what is Article 15 and Article 25 that the leader of opposition talks about? You can see here. It is Article 15. It prohibits discrimination on the grounds of religion, race, caste, and place of birth. Yes, but there are certain exceptions. For example, the state can make some special provision and special consideration for women, children, and other SCBCs, socially and economic backward classes. Yes, and also scheduled caste and scheduled tribe people. And Article 25 talks about the fundamental right of a person, the freedom of conscience and the right to preach, practice and propagate any religion of their choice. It is a freedom to practice their own religion. So both of this, since because of this attack by the other religion, majority religion people on the minority religion and asking them to chant Jai Shri Ram and Bharat Mata Ki Jai like that, so it is infringing on the fundamental rights of the citizens. So this is what the leader of opposition gave as a criticism against the opposition party. And the next one, it is Hurricane Ida. Yes, recently the powerful hurricane, which is of category 4, has knocked out Louisiana, the US state of Louisiana, which is here, near Florida. Yes, and nearly it put off the power for more than 10 lakh people, around 1 million people there. Yes, the cyclone Ida, it has become a weakening tropical depression because in monsoon area in Indian Ocean region, it is called cyclones, whereas in the Atlantic region it is called hurricanes. Cyclones is called as hurricanes, and the cyclones are categorized based on Saffir-Simpson category, hurricane category scale. According to the Saffir-Simpson scale, so this is a scale to measure the intensity of cyclones. So category 1 to 5, the topmost category is category 5, around more than 250 km per hour of wind. So this is category 4, just one category above the category 5, and this is only behind this Hurricane Katrina of 2005. This Hurricane Katrina, it caused nearly 1,800 people to die, and it is one of the worst cyclone ever that attacked the USA. Yes, that hurricane that attacked USA. Yes, and this cyclone Hurricane Ida, it is category 4 and it has pounded the coast of Louisiana. And the scientist says that this hurricane seemed to be moving on to category 5, but they are expecting it to it already made landfall, but they are expecting it to weaken further. The next is Vande Bharat trains. Yes, so recently the railways has planned to operate nearly 102 Vande Bharat trains by March 2024. Yes. So what is this Vande Bharat train? The Pradhamar, PM Modi, he has announced nearly operation of 75 Vande Bharat trains on the 75th Independence Day celebration. During his speech, he said that nearly 75 Vande Bharat trains will be floated, and it contains. So the Ministry of Railways has floated the 10 days of 58 rakes, each comprising of 16 coaches. Yes. So the Vande Bharat train is previously called as Train 18, which is produced by ICF, Integral Coach Factory, which is in Perambur, Chennai. So it is there in Perambur. Chennai. And it is considered as India's first semi-high-speed train. It is not the fastest train, it is semi-high-speed train with an operational efficiency of nearly 160 km per hour, and is considered as one of the most successful Make in India products because it is indigenously created. All the technologies, it is indigenously made, okay, fully Indian product. Yes, and recently because of some corruption allegations, the production was halted, but again it was boosted up, and the railways have started to float tenders for the manufacture of these Vande Bharat trains. And the next one, it is Mumbai Climate Action Plan. Yes, the Brihan Mumbai Municipal Corporation, BMC, which is a greater, like GCC, Greater Chennai Corporation, it is BMC for Mumbai. It has unveiled, okay, a draft Mumbai Climate Action Plan has been, okay, it has unveiled, and they are asking for the public comments on this action plan, Mumbai Climate Action Plan. Yes. So what is the plan is all about? So what this is talks about, what the specific plan talks about, as you can see, the plan, it will talks about the climate resilience and also mitigation, but how adaptation strategies, for example, in nearly 6 areas, as you can see, sustainable waste management, urban greening, biodiversity, and also urban flooding and water resource management. And it also include on the other side, building energy efficient, air quality, and sustainable mobility. So all, okay, which involves in the smart cities project. So even the smart cities has all of this following: energy, building energy efficient, air quality buildings, urban greening, maintaining the biodiversity, okay, providing for urban flooding and water resource management, all these things. And this plan is expected to be ready, okay, for the upcoming Conference of Parties, COP26, okay, which is the follow-up of Paris Climate Deal. And this COP 2026 of UNFCCC, United Nations Forum for Climate Change, it is going to held in Glasgow, Scotland. Glasgow, Scotland. Yes. And as per the study conducted by this World Research Institute, the Mumbai is very vulnerable city, and the Mumbai by 2040 or 2050, it is said that, okay, some Mumbai, it will be have somewhat submerged by the increase in the sea level. Yes, the rise in temperature, extreme rain events into flooding. And recently we could have seen different parts of the world, the forest fires has increased, the drought has been severe, the cyclone has been severe, we have seen Hurricane Ida. So all the climatic events have become very severe or become in the extreme phases because of the increasing climate change impact, anthropogenic emissions of humans. Yes. And the IPCC, the important scientific agency of UNFCCC, United Nations Forum for Climate Change, Convention of Climate Change, it also warned that nearly 12 Indian coastal cities, including Mumbai, they will face a sea rise of 0.1 to around 0.3 meters in the next 3 decades because of the climate change. So the ice sheet is melting, and because of that, the sea level will rise. So this is what the IPCC report claims. And yes, so why all they are doing the sense? Because of the C40 Cities Climate Leadership Group. So Mumbai has recently joined this C40, which is a grouping of around 97 big and important cities around the world. The mayors and the deputy mayors of the city, the mayors and the deputy mayors, they will go and they will assemble, and they will talk about how to maintain the sustainable development of cities, sustainable maintenance of cities. Yes, so there are total 6 C40 cities in India. 6 C40 cities: Chennai, Jaipur, Kolkata. Mumbai recently joined, Bengaluru, and Delhi. Chennai, Jaipur, Kolkata, Mumbai, Bangalore, and Delhi. And the Mumbai recently joined in 2020. Yes, the main aim of this C40 initiative is to address the climate change and make the cities sustainable. And next is Universal Postal Union. Yes, recently India has been elected to the Council of Administration at the 27th UPU Congress held in Abjan. And India also elected to the Postal Operation Council at the 27th UPU, again which held in Abjan. So what is this UPU? The Universal Postal Union came to establish on 1874 itself, one of the oldest UN agency on the basis of Treaty of Bern, which is in Switzerland. Yes, it is one of the specialized agency like International Telecommunication Union, WHO, like that. It is one of the specialized agency of the United Nations, which coordinates in the postal policies and other things related to postal system worldwide. And yes, this UPA consists of nearly 4 bodies. As you can see, Council of Administration, Postal Operation Council, International Bureau, all these 4 organizations. And also it oversees the telematics and express mail service EMS cooperatives. The headquarters of this UPE is at Bern, Switzerland. And the next one is Royal Jelly, Indian Royal Jelly. For the first time ever, the Indian Royal Jelly quality has been found in the topmost quality, okay, compared to from Thailand and Taiwan. Yes. So what is Royal Jelly? As you can see, Royal Jelly is one of the important honey bee product. So from the bee, we can get a lot of product like Royal Jelly, propolis, honey, wax, nectar, and one such is Royal Jelly. Yes, so Royal Jelly is considered as a good antioxidant and help women with the fertility issues and other health benefits. Yes, and this Royal Jelly also meets ISO, Indian Standard Organization standards, which is imposed by the FSSI, Food and Standard Authority of India. Yes, so it looks like a pearly white. So this is how it looks. So this image you can see, this is how it looks. It is a pearly white or a pale yellow colored cohesive mixture, which is a mixture of honey as well as a secretion from the hypopharyngeal and mandibular glands of worker honeybees. So like a saliva, it looks like a saliva. So a mix of saliva of bee and also honey which is taken from the pollen of plants. Yeah, so it has nearly moisture, 60 to 70% of moisture, lipid, fat content of 1 to 10%, and minerals, and all the sugar and most of the good ingredients in the Royal Jelly. Yes, it is highly nutritious. Yes, so why this answer? This Royal Jelly is used by the worker bees to feed young larvae and also adult queen honeybees. Yes, so commercially this as Royal Jelly has been produced by stimulating the bee colonies to produce queen bee. Once the queen bee is produced, the adult queen bee is produced to feed the larva of worker bees and also to feed the larva of adult queen bees. Worker bees will produce this Royal Jelly in huge amounts. Yes, and the maximum amount gets accumulated upon the larva, which turns 5 years old. So that is how they artificially produce this Royal Jelly. And the next is North Korea's nuclear program. So recently, United Nations, the IAEA, International Atomic Energy Agency, one of the agency of United Nations, okay, it described that the North Korea under Kim Jong-un started its nuclear operation at Yongbyon nuclear reactor, which is the main nuclear reactor of North Korea. As you can see, the International Atomic Energy Agency, which is considered as a watchdog of nuclear power, okay, it maintains that the Yongbyon nuclear reactor, which is in North Korea, it is a 5 megawatt reactor, 5 megawatt reactor, and it started producing plutonium for the first time since 2018, because after 2018 both North Korea and South Korea dealed, okay, the deal was brokered by USA, Donald Trump. They signed a peace deal. So now the North Korean leader came to South Korea and the border and they exchanged a peace deal, but that deal didn't came into effect because of the non-consensus between the countries. And because of that, again, the nuclear reactor, they started to produce this nuclear materials. Yes, this Yongbyon Nuclear Scientific Center is in North Korea's major nuclear facility. It has nearly 5 nuclear reactors. Yes, and it is about nearly 100 kilometers from the Pyongyang, which is the capital of North Korea, and it has produced fissile material for the test from nearly 2006 to 17, and they have been developing this indigenous lightweight nuclear power station technology. Yes, so the starting of North Korea's nuclear program again started to create fears in the minds of the people who are around the enemy. For example, Japan, the North Korea and Japan, they are not having fruitful relations. So it again sound alarm in the North and East China and the North Pacific Ocean regions. The next is United Nations resolution on Afghanistan. So recently, India has been the chair of United Nations Security Council, the head of UNSC, which is the main important body or implementing body of United Nations. And except for the 2 countries, China and Russia, the India-led United Nations Security Council, it passed a resolution which is called as UNSC Resolution 2593, a landmark resolution against the recently happening Taliban capturing of Afghanistan. Yes, and it addresses a key concern of the Afghanistan. So what is it? What is this United Nations Security Council of 2593? We will see. Yes. So P5 countries refers to permanent 5 countries. Generally, UNSC consists of P5 countries, permanent 5 countries plus 10 members, 10 non-permanent members. Non-permanent members. So India is currently a non-permanent member from 2021 to 2023. For 2 years, India has been elected. And India is currently the chair of the United Nations Security Council because the chair will be generally from this non-permanent commission. This P5 country includes, as you can see, China, France, Russia, UK, and US. So total 15 countries in the United Nations Security Council. Out of 15, 13 countries are accepted except for China and Russia. They abstained. They didn't veto it. They didn't stop it, but they abstained from voting. And yes, this resolution has been passed. And this resolution has been brokered by France as well as USA. Yes. So this resolution called the Taliban to keep their commitments on preventing terror groups in Afghanistan and urge them to make the authorities easy for safe evacuation of Afghan nationals who want to leave this country. Yes, and also the resolution clearly states that the Afghan territory should not be used to threaten or attack any country or to shelter and train the terrorists and plan future terrorist attacks. And it has also mentioned the individual designated by Resolution 127. The Resolution 1267 is called Al-Qaeda Sanctions Committee. Al-Qaeda Sanctions Committee. Yes. It also recently included Lashkar-e-Taiba and Jaish-e-Mohammed, which is a terrorist outfit organization, which has this involvement in this attack, February 14 attack, which claimed nearly 40 lives of the CRPF personnel, which happened in Jammu and Kashmir. Yes. And the last one is India's economic growth. So recently, India has seen a major growth. Nearly the GDP, the gross domestic product of India, nearly grown by 20.1% in the first quarter. Yes, compared to the 24.4%, minus 24.4% negative growth in the same year, the same quarter, June last year, in 2020. Yes, because of the second wave of the pandemic. Yes. So as you can see, the gross value added, GVA. So the GDP talks about the trend of manufacture and the trend of consumption of service from the consumer side. Whereas the GVA, gross value added, talks about the trend from the producer side. So how much production happened, how much production subsidy, everything it will be from the GVA, whereas from GDP it is from the consumer side. How much the consumers has got, how much tax they paid, how much indirect taxes, how much, everything it will be talked from the GDP side. Yes, the GVA in the economy during the April to June has risen nearly 18.58% from the minus 22.2% in the last quarter. So compared to the last year, this quarter, June to September, okay, all the growth has been increased because of the lockdown has been released and the spur in economic activity has been seen. Yes, GVA from agriculture, forestry and fishing, it is the only sector that grew amid last year's national lockdown. Yes, because this cannot be affected by forestry, agriculture, fishing is not affected by the lockdown pandemic. Whereas, for example, you take industries and also service sectors, everything has been affected because of the lockdown, because they have to maintain the social distancing and all. Yes, electricity, gas, water supply and other utility service, okay, their gross value added, okay, that has been grew for nearly 14.3% compared to the minus 9.9% last year. Yes, cumulatively it can see that only 4% because the last year it is minus 24.5%, now it is 21%. So actually speaking, the growth is 4%. Okay, you leave aside the negative part. Yes, so this has shown, as you can see from the image, okay, this has shown the V-shaped recovery. This is what the economics call V-shaped recovery. A major dip comes and then a spur in economic activity it is lead to. So this is called V-shaped recovery. It prevents India from plumbing into depression. Yes, this is a good welcome sign. But what happens? The experts are talking about the third wave, and we will never know what happens. Okay, we can expect the future development of economy in the upcoming 1 or 2 months. We can see that. So that's it with today's current affairs. So let us come up with the more interesting information current affairs tomorrow. Thank you.